Hello, this is Jeff Bish, president of MarketGauge.com, with another video that I'm hoping will make your trading life easier by having a better understanding of how you can profit from ETFs. So the topic of this video is really straightforward. What I'm looking at is, on the left, you see a percentage change chart of a number of different ETFs that are all foreign countries, except for one, which is the US. I'll let you guess which one that is. And on the right is an article that comes from the Wall Street Journal. It was actually put out in January of 2015. It's now May of 2015. But here's the point. In January, it was when the ECB announced that they were going to finally embark on their own form of quantitative easing in a massive way, to the tune of $60 billion a month of bond buying across different countries. So the interesting thing about this article is I stumbled on it recently, and it pointed out where the money was going to be spent. So all you really need to focus on is this column right here, which is the amount in billions of bond buying that's going to happen on each country. So I took the countries that were getting most of the money and put them into this chart here as a percentage change chart, which starts from the beginning of 2015. What was my thought? Well, I wanted to see whether or not the countries that were getting all this money were actually performing well in terms of their stock market. That's not to suggest that the ECB's objective is to prop up the stock market, but let's face it, that is what happened when the Fed did its quantitative easing for the last several years. So that brings us to the chart. So you may recall that it's basically been this year that the Fed has decided to pull back on its quantitative easing. So the white chart here is the SPYs, the S&P 500. And if I could get the right color here. So the white chart here is the SPYs, the S&P 500, and as I'm sure I don't need to tell you, as of the beginning of this year, it's really gone nowhere. It went down a few percent, it's been up a few percent, now sits at about 2%, it's gone nowhere. Meanwhile, this list of countries that's getting flooded with bond buying by the ECB, this group is up anywhere from 13, almost 14% to 8%. So, moral of the story, as the article says, follow the money. All right, follow the leaders. There's huge opportunities in foreign country ETFs right now, and to a large extent, that's because this is an area of the world that is getting propped up as much as they possibly can with free money. So that leaves us with the last two lines up near the top of the screen. These two red lines. Well, these aren't European stock markets, so I made them red. There's China. It's not why I made them red. I made them red just because they were at the top and they were different. But they're not completely different because China has its own quantitative easing policy going on in terms of they're trying like crazy to stimulate their economy. And not only that, they've got structural changes in how foreigners can invest in their stock markets, and that's why you see China, the highest one, FXI, rocketing up here in April. The second one is Japan, which it too has a massive effort of quantitative easing in its own right going on as well. So what's the point? Follow the money around the world, get acquainted with how to trade foreign ETFs, and there are huge opportunities. You don't have to depend on the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 takes off, we'll be here to trade it. If not, there's plenty of opportunities around the world, and it's not that hard to do. Hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video.